Boker guys, good morning. היית
כן, בטח.
היה טוב? Okay, good morning. We are at Zaatara Junction, our regular Friday quiet demonstration of looking the occupation in the eye. There we go. Police is already standing by. I don't know if they are, oh my God, if they are here. I really have to put on my glasses, which I just broke. My reading glasses. Okay. Now, some of these people already had some action this morning. Early. Did some good work. And here we are going to set up. For these people, it's the middle of the day. I just woke up. You guys had a good morning? You had a successful morning? Yeah? Okay. No. I woke up and I came here. I didn't see it. Okay. At the Mr. Clean? Shaul. Okay. So everybody, Shaul. What's Shaul's name? Chernikovic? Cherry. Seriously? Cherry-Kover. Shaul. Anyway, look at Shaul. He had a video of this morning of the activities. Well, some of... Oh. Okay. So he... Okay, so Mr. Klim. I'm going to send you guys to Mr. Klim. Go to the page of Mr. Klim. Look at... No, but afterwards you will upload it there. Cherikovic, whatever. No, I don't expect seriously any action. This should be, you know, like this live is just in case. It's more like that than anything else. They're heavily body armed today. So met Zaatara Junction in occupied Palestine. It's an important junction. It's being closed off regularly. Now it's a quiet demonstration, meaning we're just standing there and just showing the Palestinian population that not Israeli agrees with the occupation. Just keeping an eye on it, because these are the little shitheads that will suddenly attack a sign. And the sign actually says מאחזים מה זה? מה כתוב שם? המאחזים הם טרור. הם טרור. אוקיי, קצת יותר ספייס. Okay, so Hamagazim, illegal settlements, they are the terrorism that is taking place here. So, I did some homework. A tiny tent, just to, not bore you guys to death. While we're watching this. Now these are numbers from August. So this is just August. Right? 9 Palestinians died by the hands of the Israeli occupation force. 9 Palestinians were killed by the hands of the Israeli occupation force. 621 Palestinians were wounded by the hands of the Israeli occupation force. 621 in 1 month. 9 killed, 621 wounded. 144 Palestinians have been arrested only in Jerusalem in the month of August. Only in Jerusalem, 144. There have been in the month of August 77 attacks by settlers on Palestinians, which means, trees have been cut, revenge attacks, property attacks, physical attacks. 41 demolition, how do you call those? Notifications. 41 demolition notifications have been issued in August. And 59 demolitions have taken place. Now what does that mean, demolition? It can be a house where people are living in, or a building. It can be a building they are building. And it can be property for the animals, etc. 59 properties have been demolished by the Israeli occupation force in just August. 1,381 trees have been cut by the Israeli occupation force. 1,381 trees. 41 Palestinian journalists have been harassed by the Israeli occupation force, and 10 Palestinian journalists have been wounded by the hands of the Israeli occupation force just in August. These are just August numbers. And 60 demonstrations by Palestinians took place. That's August. Good morning. Look who we have here. Our media hero. Now, some other major things happened this week. Let me just try and cross on this side to get a picture. Good morning. To get a picture from here. This week, Ahmed Manasra was arrested when he was 13 years old. The claim that he and his nephew, uncle, family member were planning an attack. The nephew was killed on the spot. Ahmed was driven over by a police car. Now, he didn't do anything itself with the attack. 13 years old. Google him. You haven't seen in his interrogation. It's heartbreaking. Interrogation, of course, without a lawyer, 13-year-old. He was wounded in his head. It's just horrifying to watch. He was trialed as a grown-up, and he was sent to jail for 12 years. They changed this on an appeal to 9. 7.5 years passed. The guy today is 20 years old. He has been in isolation for the last 10 months. 10 months. He is seriously, he's no words. So there was a petition yesterday at the higher court asking for his immediate release. I am not sure if there was an answer yesterday, but that definitely needs some attention, his case. Need to make some noise. Then the other horrific story is the sentencing of Mohammed Al-Khalabi. He's a human rights worker at World Vision. He has been sent to jail for 12 years. They claim that, he's funneling money to Hamas. 170 court cases. 170 court cases or hearings in the last 6 years. They can't really come with proper evidence. Everybody else, lots of human rights organizations, EU countries, etc., have checked it. Of course, as usual, there is no evidence, there is no proof. 170 court hearings in the last 6 years. He has been sentenced to jail for 12 years. So this is one. He was, Israel looks at him as a terrorist. Other people look at him as a humanitarian hero. He's, has given his life working for human rights, Palestinian human rights. And the Israeli occupation force doesn't like it, so they threw him in jail now for 12 years. So, just a little repeat. I will give a little repeat of the numbers just in August. 9 Palestinians died by the hands of the Israeli occupation force just in August. 144 Palestinians have been arrested just in Jerusalem just in August. 621 Palestinians have been wounded by the Israeli occupation force just in August. 77 attacks by illegal settlers to the Palestinians. It means cutting of trees, revenge attacks, throwing stones, putting things on fire, physical attacks. 41 demolition notifications have been delivered just in August to 41 Palestinian families. And 49 demolitions took place just in August. It might have been buildings that people were living in, that might have been buildings that they were building, that might have been schools. No, they didn't demolition schools yet. They are part of the demolition notifications, though, that were delivered. Palestinian schools, 8,000 kids are in danger of not going to school. 1,381 trees have been cut only in August. Palestinian trees on private Palestinian land. 1,381 trees. I don't even want to say something regarding that one. 41 Palestinian journalists have been attacked by the Israeli occupation force. 41 Palestinian journalists only in August, and 10 of them were wounded. And 60 demonstrations, Palestinian demonstrations, took place in August against the occupation, against illegal settlements, against closing of roads, against stealing of land, against the harassment, against having no water, against, you know, night visits and ruining of houses and everything in there. 60. It was a tough month in occupied Palestine, that's for sure. Now, some good news. We do have some good news. We do. Checking my other notes, because I wrote it down. Just, you know, okay. Khalil Awabde, sure I say his name incorrectly, my apologies, was on a hunger strike for over 175 days against the administrative detention he was being held on. Administrative. So he looked like my grandfather, or, you know, the people that came back from Auschwitz after 175 plus, because I don't really know totally the final number. The fact that this man, that we, Israel, allow for 750 Palestinians that are being held under administrative detention, to allow a person that really would like to know why he's in prison, because he did not get, there were not any charges filed against him, he did not have the right on a trial, there was no trial, no charges, no trial, and no evidence shared. So he's sitting in jail, wondering why. Israel is just extending his administrative detention. And the guy, rightly so, fighting for his freedom, went on a hunger strike. So 175 plus days later, when I look at his pictures, the way he looks, I'm seriously looking at the pictures of the people when they, you know, were released from Auschwitz. The few that managed to survive, getting hit a finger. Now that we as Israel allow for a person to get at this level, to almost die, Israel could have stopped it. Oh my God. Sorry. What the fuck? What the hell? Jesus. Why am I the only one puking here? Oh, and there we have these sweethearts that are going to stand now on the other side. I'm not going to show them. Holy crap, somebody passed here with a load of shit. Jesus. Holy crap. It's way worse than anything else I've encountered. But that we let it, that we sink as a country so low, to almost let a person die. Now, probably the optics for Israel weren't that, you know, pink, if they would have let him die, Khalil. So honestly, if they wouldn't have, you know, like, okay, so on Wednesday, in the evening, Israel finally made a deal with him that Khalil would stay in the hospital until October 2nd. October 2nd, his current administrative detention will expire, will be finished, will be done. Israel signed an agreement with him that they will not extend his administrative detention, and until then he stays in the hospital to get a bit back to where he should be. Now, a week and a half ago he was like 38 kilos. So right now I would give him around probably 33, 35. A man that's supposed to weigh 80, 90 kilos. So that is good news. Now, Israel did this before. It's not the first time that Israel promised to release him. They didn't. After 2 days they broke their promise. So right now we're just hoping that they will really keep their promise, and if not, we'll make a shitload of noise. And then we have these guys that seriously, they're standing here with these shitholes, laughing, smiling. They think we are ridiculous. Yeah, look at them. Yeah, we lost it. I'm not giving them anything. Let's just show this one. So where's note number 2? Here's note number 2. So Ahmed Manasra, who has been in jail and has been charged as a grown-up since he's 13, even though he did not participate in any attack, as they claim. During his arrest, the police drove into him. He was wounded in his head. If you see his interrogation, of course without a lawyer, 13-year-old, without parents, it is just heartbreaking. For the last 10 months he has been put in isolation, and he's mentally, seriously deteriorating rapidly. So there has been pressure, external pressure, European pressure, whatever, to release him. So there was a hearing yesterday. Last time there was a hearing, the answer was to return him to isolation. Seriously heartbreaking. So that's story number 1. Story number 2 is, of course, the additional sentencing of Muhammad El-Khalabi, the human rights worker at World Vision. Now, he had the pleasure of 170 plus court hearings that took 6 years to show the evidence that Israel has, which is like 0. So lots of other human rights organizations, countries, whatever, they have done their investigation. Their conclusion is there is 0 evidence that he funneled money to the Hamas or anything like that. It's another additional attack on the human rights of the Palestinians. They already closed 6-7 offices a few weeks ago. We all know that. Let me see if that's this one. No. I hope it's this one. No, it's not. That's probably the only note. Oh yeah, I do have it. So a few weeks ago, Gantz took another step regarding violating the human rights in occupied Palestine. So they, in the middle of the night, broke in Shetach A. Israel's not supposed to be there. We have nothing to do there. It's Palestinian, under Palestinian authority totally. No, the Israeli occupation decided they are going to break in, and they broke into the offices of the Defense for Children, Palestinian children that are being held, that are taken care of, Palestinian children being held by the Israeli military court. And they document the abuses and the killings of the Palestinian kids by the hands of the Israeli occupation force. Now that's way too scary for Gantz. Yeah. So he decided they are a terrorist organization and he closed them. The other one was Ademir. That also advocates for the rights for Palestinian prisoners, especially in administrative detention. Right now there are 750 Palestinians held in administrative detention. It's the highest number in the last 8 years. Gantz also attacked and closed the UWPC, the Union for Palestinian Women. That, you know, it's a feministic organization empowering Palestinian women. No. Gantz decided they are a terrorist organization, stole their stuff, welded their doors. The other one is the Bison Center for Research. Defense rights for poor Palestinians. Now that's basically, we can say 85% of the Palestinians. No. Let's close them. Then Al-Haq. That's the most important one, not the most important one, but that's the one that documents all the violations by the hands of Israel regarding the Palestinian human rights and pushes for accountability at the International Criminal Court. No, Gantz decided they are definitely a terrorist organization. And then of course we have the Union of Agriculture that advocates for the farmers regarding their food security and accountability regarding land theft and violence against the farmers. No. So by closing these human rights organizations, Palestinian human rights organizations, Gantz is trying to avoid any accountability on any point, or on every point actually, regarding the social and economic impact of the occupation on Palestinian civil society. Well, let's say this again. Gantz is trying his upper best to avoid all accountability regarding the social economic impact of the occupation on Palestinian civil society. Now, by throwing Muhammad into jail for 12 years, again without any evidence, is another step of totalitarianism, or something like that. So, that was me for today. I've said enough. I've said enough. It's nice and quiet. So far, so good. I can ask some people some questions. I can do this.
In the 6 first months of 2022, the Israeli, the IDF killed 60 innocent Palestinians in the West Bank, not by airplanes or helicopters, just by
Guns.
and letting 80 years old man to freeze to death. So 80 people, and it includes 15 children. So 60 innocent Palestinians. We're not counting the warriors, the Palestinian warriors, but 60 innocent Palestinians were killed by the IDF in these 6 months, from January 1 to June 30. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Yeah, it's crazy.
יש פה ויכוח סוער. קראת את יש הסטטיסטיקה של המצביעים בני 18 עד 25. 72 מנדטים לגוש נתניהו.
אבל הם לא אלה שמחזיקים את המדינה, הם לא הולכים לעבוד, הם גרים על הגבעות, אנחנו מממנים.
72 מנדטים גרים על הגבעות?
תומכים בהם.
נו, אז זהו, אבל כל שנה זה יגדל, בגלל שהפעילות גדולה.
אבל המגזרים האלה על כל השנים. אז בסדר, זה לא
Now, let's go for a second to this quiet demonstration of looking the occupation in the eye. It is honestly, it's one of the funner demonstrations that we do. Really fun. Showing the Palestinians that not every Israeli agrees with the occupation. And then you have these people that get really pissed off, and it's just fun to piss them off, and it's absolutely great to it's very heartwarming to get the reactions of the Palestinians. So we're standing here with signs, looking the occupation in the eye, enough with Jewish terrorism. Palestinian lives matter. And it's not just a slogan, even, you know, Palestinian lives do matter, even though regarding Israel there is no occupation. They are getting more and more blatant by stealing land, allowing it, and not giving any accountability for all the horrific attacks that are taking place, or by the Israeli occupation force, or by Zionistic settlers. No accountability whatsoever. Last week, the police decided that they are not going to prosecute the Zionistic illegal settler that stabbed a knife in the heart of a Palestinian man that was seriously trying to prevent them, the illegal settler, Zionistic settler, to steal their land. The settler claims self-defense, even though there are more than enough witnesses that totally tell the opposite story. It was just cold-blooded murder in daylight. And no, there's not enough convincing evidence. So thereby is this current government giving a green card, a total green card, to all the Zionistic illegal settlers to kill any Palestinian whenever they want, because there's no accountability whatsoever. That's where we got. Now everybody, except Ben Gvir, of course, and Bibi, etc., everybody else Lapid, etc. They are refusing to even do anything, make a statement, make a point, because it might cost them in the elections. In the meantime, Palestinian lives, the price doesn't matter. It's important that they will get elected, and so there's no talking occupation. The word occupation is not an issue this election. It's not an issue for people to vote or not vote, unless you say you are, of course, for the occupation. You cannot say that, because then you will lose votes. Sadly enough, that's where we are today. Wow. I think they threw a smell bomb on me. I still smell of shit. It still smells here of shit. It's unbelievable. Again, it's reasonably quiet at Zaatara Junction or Apple Junction. Zaatara Junction in occupied Palestine. Quiet demonstration every Friday, 10:30 till 11:30, to show the Palestinians that we're standing in solidarity with them against the occupation. This is of the Zionistic illegal settlers, and the Palestinian population really appreciates it. I have a busy day ahead.
ניסית? חושב שאתם משפיעים פה על משהו? חושב שאתם עוזרים פה למשהו שקורה? איפה אתם גרים? איפה אתם גרים? איפה אתם בארץ? מאיפה אתם בארץ? אתם מתל אביב, אתם יודעים מה קורה פה בכלל? אתם יודעים מה קורה פה?
Look at this brainwashed little shithead. That's what he is. I don't know why he's even walking around with a gun.
אתם לא עוזרים לשום דבר שקורה. סתם באים לפה כמו חברות.
נכון. אתם הסכנה פה.
הגויים לא הולכים להישאר בארץ. גויים לא הולכים להישאר בארץ, אפילו לא אחד, סבבה?
אני יהודי מותק כמוך.
נכון, אני יודע שגויים לא הולכים להישאר בארץ.
בדיוק.
אמיתי.
Hey, big friends. Just imagine if this would have been a Palestinian, he would have been, you know, kicked out. No, no. There are big, big friends here. The police is big friends with the Zionistic illegal settlers. And they will do everything to protect them. Everything. It is so disgusting. The Israeli occupation force, in the Israeli police, in occupied Palestine, will do everything they can to protect these illegal shitheads instead of the weaker population that's being attacked and occupied, and they should protect those. No. Not how it works here. Just really sad. Just really, really sad. Pisses me off. These little shitheads, most of them are coming from the States. Actually, troubled kids are being sent by their Jewish parents to occupied Palestine and behave like the biggest shithead ever. Disgusting. Yeah, next week I will give some numbers how much the occupation is actually costing Israel. Now, one of the numbers I do know is, I don't know if it's a unit, I don't know what it is, they call it a name of reserves. So there are 7 of these reserves units in occupied Palestine, 7 per month. Each unit, or whatever it's called, cost Israel 6 million, 7 million, 6 million. So 42 million per month is spent on just these few units of reservists. 42 million every month Israel is paying to have 7 of these units of reservists in occupied territories. 42 million. Do you guys get that? That's a fucking insane number. That's like 4 MRI machines. That's like maybe some proper education where we will show the green line in class and we will teach them about the occupation instead of what's happening today, where except in Tel Aviv, where Golda stood up against the Minister of Education, and Golda decided that every class in every school in Tel Aviv has a proper map of Israel with the green line, a very clear green line, and where we're talking about occupied territories, occupied Palestine, and not one big Israel that's ours. So if at school we don't show, we don't teach these kids that there is occupied territories, no wonder they are, you know, looking at us like, what are you, occupation? Which occupation? What are you talking about? We're fighting the enemy. That's what we teach them at school. Every Palestinian is a terrorist, if not today, then tomorrow. Every Palestinian is a potential terrorist. We are allowed to shoot them in the back when they throw a stone and run away. The Israeli occupation force is allowed to shoot to kill. Israeli occupation force, like they do many times, they should kill or badly wounded, and then they will not allow medical aid to get access. So unnecessarily Palestinian people are dying. There is this little kid that died this week in Gaza because the Israeli occupation force didn't give him medical permission for treatment in Israel, even though, you know, yeah, so the month of August, hi Navush, was pretty rough, with 9 Palestinians killed, 621 wounded, 77 attacks by Zionistic settlers on Palestinians, 59 properties were demolished, 1,381 trees were cut down, and 41 Palestinian journalists were, I don't even know, they were attacked. 44, what was that number? 41. 41 attacks on Palestinian journalists with 10 wounded. And that's just this month. That's just August. Very quiet on the road. Very quiet on the road. Now, some of these people already had some action this morning. Successful. Good for them. Very proud of them. I would say go to the Mr. Klim, look in the occupation Mr. Klim page on Facebook. For sure there are some videos of the action this morning. We have today, besides the regular weekly demonstrations at Kafur Kadum and Beta and Beta Jan, there's also a demonstration, I call it Jerusalem, it's something with Shmuel, next to Jerusalem, where some of us will be going today. We will go live there, and of course at 4 o'clock we will be in Sheikh Jarrah in East Jerusalem for the 15th year. The Sheikh Jarrah weekly Friday demonstration is taking place. 15 years. It's hot. So, some good and some sad news. Sad news, Ahmed Manasra yesterday had an additional court hearing. Reminder, this is the 13-year-old Palestinian kid that was arrested 7 years ago. He's already in prison for 7.5 years. His interrogation, look it up, it's horrifying. 13 years old, without a lawyer, without his parents. He was part of the attack. During the attack, and I do this between brackets, police drove into him. He got wounded in his head, and he has been basically most of the 7.5 years that he is in prison in isolation. 13 years old, he went to prison, he was sent to he was trialed as a grown-up. 13 years old. Fucking horrific. Now mentally He is seriously, logically, because he's in isolation most of the time. He's being tortured by the hands of the prisoner, Shabak, whoever the fuck does that. And it's heartbreaking. So Ahmed Manasra, probably the outcome of the hearing yesterday is another 6 months of isolation, because that's what the Israeli occupation force likes to do best. There was also the sentencing of Mohammed El Halabi, human rights worker at World's Vision. His trial took 6 years. He had 170 plus hearings. There has been no proper evidence. Nobody can find the evidence that he funneled money to the Hamas as Israel claims. Zero. Several human rights organizations, Amnesty, I don't know, whoever, intensive interrogations, they didn't find anything. Israel sent him to jail for 12 years. He was hailed. People see him as a humanitarian hero. No! Israel decides he's a terrorist and he's going to jail for 12 years. Because just imagine that he can continue with his humanitarian work for the Palestinians. That would be way too much. And then, of course, let's not forget the Palestinian French lawyer that is in jail right now. Probably administrative detention, I'm not sure about that. Palestinian human rights lawyer, French, half Palestinian. I think his partner was kicked out of, she wasn't able to enter, something like that. Now I really have to read up on his story. But that's also good thing though was that the settler, the Zionistic settler that killed a few years ago a Palestinian family, a baby, a father and a mother. At that point the only 4-year-old son, one, stayed alive. He was sentenced and he requested to reduce his sentence or whatever. Thank God the court didn't agree. And then yesterday all kinds of Zionistic illegal settlers decided to protest that and demand his freedom. He threw in a Molotov cocktail in the middle of the night in their house. And they burned to death. The baby burned to death immediately. The father and the mother died afterwards in the hospital. And the little boy, 4-year-old at that point, survived with severe burn wounds. 750 Palestinians right now in administrative detention. 904 have been requested administrative detention so far. It's like a week ago, this number. And 12 minors, part of those. So 750 Palestinians right now are being held under administrative detention. Means without a case, without a hearing, and without evidence. And we are done here. Yoffie, guys. So I'm going to the Shmuel demonstration. See if we can get there. If yes, see you there. Bye, Yush.